me the comments, drop him, drop him, drop him, don't speak to him, don't speak to him. And I said, no, I can only judge him if I hear his side and their side, and you can kind of compare it. And I've been telling people all day, oh, actually, they lied in that GoFundMe. Cal got nothing. Look at him, he's broken. And then I see this fucking statement and I look like a dickhead.
Hayley, I come in your live earlier. I was raging. I was trying. I got loads of violations in my notifications. I was writing that never went through, thank God. But I was raging because I'd known more, do you know what I mean, about that situation. And again, I just felt like I wasn't being heard, like I'd been muted over it, do you know what I mean? Because I'd been banned and what have you. But yeah, I was trying my utmost, but TikTok kept me.
It's with Cal. Cal also went to the scene of the Nicola Bulley incident. He's a trauma chaser.
Yeah, he was criticised by the detectives and the police at the time because he was one of the TikTokers who went to the Nicola Bulley scene and potentially, you know, getting too involved and not searching buildings that the police hadn't got to, and, you know, just impacting the investigation. He was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it really hard for people like me who do the content I do, because I know my limits and I know my place. So I know that it is not my job to go out to a crime scene and contaminate. I know it's not my job to go and upset locals. I know it's not my job to go and go all over Nicola's family, contact them. I've never tried to contact Nicola Bulley's family, and I've got a whole playlist of videos. You know, I could have quite easily have gone there and done videos because it would have got attention, but it really isn't about that. Do you know what I mean? A woman died.
Yeah, it's just uncalled for, and sadly, we've now got, you know, a TikToker that has lied about a missing boy's mother and what he received, and instead of her focused on what's going on, you know, feet on the ground sort of thing, she's having to deal with this.
I do want to say though, that, like, she did say his group like have been assisted with accommodation and expenses, which isn't true. So I kind of want to get to the bottom of that.
That's what you need to do, because you don't know this was a one-off payment, and there's several more payments that were supposed to be paying for all of you guys. But I do want to just point out as well that I honestly want to say that I also question the family in this, giving the money to Cal in the first place, because once that money was donated by the public, it was their responsibility to police that money correctly and made sure it went to the correct people. If we are just offering money to random TikTokers or anyone without search experience, then we are asking for this shit to happen over and over again. That's why it should have gone to ex-police officers, private detectives, sniffer dogs, search and rescue people, people like Millie, who actually could get more and more people on the ground if she could pay for travel.
I don't even think me. I think obviously the detective Mark hasn't been paid. He's doing this voluntary, and I wouldn't accept it, because it should be search and rescue from the UK, the qualified search and rescue from the Scottish or English or whatever, coming over. Money should be spent on that. But, you know, if the family, and from what I understood, the family really asked him to come back out and offered to pay. So I think, like you say, Hayley, that it's something that they need to be really thinking about what they're spending their money on, if that's the case, and also what they think they're spending their money on, as in a group and their accommodation expenses. Well, that's not true.
She has clarified, Debbie, on her post when she's put up the transaction evidence today. She has clarified she hasn't received any of the money from the GoFundMe, and she actually gave this to Cal out of her own pocket, which I think is just. I don't want to get another ban, so I'm going to mute again.
No, but that the problem is, and this is what I kind of I hope I'm understanding what Hayley's saying as well, is she's chosen to go down that route of where the money should be spent, and I don't think that we can. Say that again, sorry.
100%. Debbie has picked to give money to Rapids and give money to Cal to keep them quiet. So when they're coming out there and they're finding out certain things, like family members aren't searching, things are a bit weird, they're two people on social media who can come out like they have done and said, Brad's a great guy, this has happened, like Rapids has been purely like literally bigging up the family. Oh, they're great, because they're being paid. So they're not going to come out and go, actually, it's a bit dodgy here. We're seeing certain things aren't happening out here. Searches aren't being done. Family aren't really telling the truth, because they're going to come out and give a good public perception because they're being paid to do so. I wonder how much Rapids is getting.
Well, that's what I questioned as well, to be fair. He said that he hasn't received anything, but then she's put in the statement that he has. So I'm a bit confused at that as well. Because if he's saying that he hasn't, and I know me and my friends haven't, then her statements have been incorrect, however it looks. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, well, I just think, the thing is, if she'd made it up, right, then she would have removed him as well, because Rapids would have gone, can you remove that, please, because you're lying.
Exactly.
But he's kept his up, whereas Cal actually said, no, you haven't given me any, and she's provided a statement. So I take it if she's not lied about it. And to be fair, the only reason you would give it to those people instead of to people who actually may find Jay and have the experience to do so is because you believe you can control the narrative with those two people, which is what is being done from the inside of that investigation right now. Mark's not even been told the truth. And Mark's fully aware that he must be, that he's not being told the truth. So they're picking people that they can control. And Cal's young, he's impressionable, he's trying to please, he's gone out there, and he's got a social media presence. So why not give him some money and keep him from saying the things that are really going on out there?
But the statement that Debbie's put up is dragging me and my friends into it as well. And that's not true. What she's put about us isn't true.
You don't know what Cal's told her.
But we don't know that. To establish how that information, why she's put that in.
Have you asked her?
I don't have a number. I have no contact, like, other than on like Facebook Messenger with Rachel. I don't have her number. All communication obviously is through Cal, because he's in communication with them.
Can you ask him for her number though, so that you could say you want to clear your name?
I think she needs to do it publicly.
That's what I mean. But if you messed her, can you say, look, we've been out there for weeks searching for your son for absolutely no reason, and I need you to make that clear because the media have got hold of this. TikTok's it's all about it, because, you know, you've literally done a really good thing and your name shouldn't be being dragged. But because Cal lied initially and then was found out that it was actually untrue, people are probably looking at you that don't know you, not me personally, but thinking, oh, it's going to come out in a minute. The Millie got 740 quid as well.
Well, yeah, like I've not, you know, I keep on saying I've not even received a thank you, and I don't even want a thank you. I wouldn't have accepted anything anyway, but I don't want my friends who aren't even English, who have just been basically brought into this because I begged them to come and help me search for Jay, and myself who lives here. And, you know, it's not fair that we're being told that we have got accommodation where I live here, I don't need it, and expenses. That's not true. And I want it clarified publicly so people understand that that part is not true. And I don't care how it happens. I just want that if they've got evidence of that, of the transaction, then surely they'll have evidence of why she's put the group as well. I mean, I can ask the number, but I can't imagine, and I don't think it's right that I should have her number. It's her personal number, you know.
It's your name and reputation, and if she hadn't put out, then you would need to contact her.
Sorry?
I said it's your name and your reputation, so, you know, you need a way to contact her so she can put it right. It's not fair on you.
No, I just don't want to. I don't want her to feel like someone's giving her number out to someone who she might not necessarily want to have.
Her number was put on the missing posters initially. Her number's out there, darling.
What about Hannah?
Yeah, I've got the poster. I forgot about that.
Yeah, her number was on the missing posters. Her number's easily found.
Okay, I've even got that poster, and I didn't even think of that. Yeah. I'll see if I can message her, but I don't want to harass her. I'm angry and upset that my association and my group association has been put that we have received some sort of support in any way.
Yeah, it's definitely wrong. Like, you've worked so hard, and you are probably the most professional in the way where you've mapped it out. You know where you've digitally been. You know where you were going next, and you've literally gone out there and made your way out there 3 hours each way to take part in a search every day, generally because you just wanted to find Jay. That's clear.
I thought that, you know, that's what everyone wants, is to find Jay. And I just so happen to, even though I do my private classes at the moment, my school's ended, so I can go out and do it. I've got free time. But, you know, it's like I said in the live with Cal, I spent 40 hours out of my time searching, and then 3 hours there on a bus, 3 hours back, 6 hours on a bus, plus like 40 hours of searching. You know, each day that I've gone out, I've had to do that 6 hour round trip.
Have I got any mods in here? Can we just work the chat, please, mods?
I just like, I do that because I care about someone having their son go back to them, and then to have a statement said I've gained something or been supported is completely like a bit of a slap in the face a little bit with it, because you haven't, you know?
100%.
Yes, Kelly, I'm doing it now, darling.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take over this.
No, you're not.
It's nice to hear your side. You should be able to talk about it, because, like you said, you are a separate person. You were out there way before Cal, so you weren't. It's not like you've been working alongside Cal. He joined your group, so you know, I 100% believe you didn't receive any money at all. 100%.
And I understand why Millie, you know, is upset, because you know, Cal has joined Millie's group searching, and he's come up with all these wild statements, you know, and it's all over Sky News. The family are now to put out transactional information, and ultimately Millie and her group have been, you know, named on the GoFundMe as Cal and his group receiving, you know, assistance with accommodation, and the group didn't even know about any money that had been sent to Cal. So I think this question is important.
I knew that they'd offered it to him last week, like Friday, and that obviously I was on the understanding that he'd obviously paid for it, and then they were going to reimburse him or like contribute to it. So that was my understanding of it.
And I'd really taken it at that point.
Well, no, I wasn't sure if it had been taken, but you know, I can't comment. I don't like talking about other people's finances. It's a big thing. Like I just don't like it. I will only talk about mine, and I have not received any support at all. Not even like thank you, but I don't want it. I just, you know, I want to clear our names, my group of friends and my name, because we have not. And from what I understand as well, I've seen Callum paying for all of his bus tickets and food and drink, and he's even bought me a coffee. And do you know what I mean? Like a few coffees, in fact. So I don't want to make accusations like that, because I don't know the facts. I don't think. Well, from what I understand. Of Debbie having actually made the money sent over as it had to be for the group as well as Cal. I can't say that that's happened, and I don't think anyone can.
You've seen the transaction saying that he's got 740 quid in the bank from Debbie, so if he bought you a coffee, she paid for it.
And in the GoFundMe link, it also said for Cal and his group, and in the statement that she released earlier, she mentioned the word Lem and not just him.
Say that again, sorry. I didn't catch that last bit.
In the statement she released earlier as well, she wrote Lem and not just him.
Lem.
Lem, TH.
As in all of you. I just, she said that it was for them, not Cal, but for them.
Who's
the group? Them, as in the group.
Wow, right, okay. But okay. So how much was has she broken it down? How much was the flight and the accommodation then?
No, she sent cash, so he could have spent it on a pair of trainers for all we know. Can I just read out his statement to Sky News? He said earlier today to Sky News, "We have not had a bit of essentials paid for. I've never had any money from them whatsoever, or even offers to go and pick up anything. If they had offered it, personally, I would have said maybe a bit of a treat at the end of the week, but don't worry about it." And that has forced, Jay's mum to ultimately put up a transactional evidence of £740 was sent to him last Thursday.
I think it's just quite cheeky. Like, this thing he keeps saying the most is, they never gave us anything, even as such as a bottle of water. But yet she sent him 740 quid. And he said that numerous times. And to me, that's just sickening.
I was under the understanding he was saying it about us as in a collective, because I agreed with him for that, because they haven't paid anything towards us, like, as a group. Obviously, the separate air flight, you say, and the accommodation, that's different to bottles of water, no? And anything like that. Expenses. So
just this is just the evidence on the 740 was sent directly to them. Accommodation is essential and classed as that. We also thanked them, and we still thank you all for your help. So the money was for you all.
Well, we've not received a single nothing, and I wouldn't have accepted it anyway. So
I'm not saying you took it. I'm saying that the money was meant for you all.
Yeah, no, I'm frustrated by that comment, because we've not seen anything, and we wouldn't have accepted it anyway.
Maybe they were aware and thinking that money was going to be used for you all anyway. Regardless of that, anyway, like, for me, Cal even taking money off of his followers to get over there, to go back over, for his accommodation, his flights, etc., yada yada yada. If you cannot personally afford to go over there and help, look, like, don't do it. Like, at the end of the day, stay at home. If you cannot afford to actually pay for your own expenses, your own flights, your own accommodation, then stay at home. Like, I would never take money off of a mother who could potentially be using that money for something better than an untrained professional.
The statement is real. It's since been deleted off the group, but this went up about 45 minutes ago. And at the bottom of it, you can see a photo of the transaction. It won't all fit on the screen, but yeah, Callum Fahim, £740, sent on the 27th of June, so a week ago.
I really want to know who she thinks them is, that she thinks she's paid.
She obviously thinks it's shoes. Like, clearly she thinks it's shoes. Or, like, who else is Cal with? Nobody, apart from...
I spoke to her, like, on a loudspeaker with Callum, and even mentioned that obviously we are local, we live here. So when we're having that conversation on the phone, surely if she thinks that she's paying accommodation, she would have thought, well, hang on a minute, why am I paying for someone if they live locally, if that's the case? Wouldn't she have said that? Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't she have said something then?
But in the statement on the GoFundMe itself, it states it was for, not just for Cal, it was for Cal and yous, the people who... And that statement and the GoFundMe, it stated it's for not just Cal, it's for you, like Cal and the people he was with, which would be you and the team of people you were with. So that money was not just meant for Cal, that money was meant for all of you who was working together.
Well, that's not right. That's I can't get my head around this.
I think maybe it meant they were paying for the flight, the accommodation, and the whole group's essentials.
To be fair, I did find it odd why he was in a hotel that had bunk beds and all sorts, as if it was booked for multiple people.
But he was staying there on his own. There's no other people with him.
Doesn't mean
we know that. I honestly think what's happened here is he's received this money, thought he could keep it quiet. Jay's mum's put out a statement on the GoFundMe with what she's done with the funds, or part of it, and he's initially denied it and thought, you know what, I'm just going to have to admit it because, you know, you didn't know about it, Millie, and I think that's why he was probably keeping it a secret, because it was for the group, it wasn't for him.
And he actually said earlier as well in his live, if they never come out and said that they sent him money, then he would never have told anyone he got that money anyway.
Oh my gosh.
I do think the issue started when she publicly announced she'd given money, which I still stay true to the fact she should never have given it to him anyway. There was no need to give the GoFundMe to him, but I still think that's probably when he was like literally put out by it, because he was angry at me for doing the video highlighting it, but I only highlighted that they changed the GoFundMe to that. I didn't realise it was some kind of big secret, and even if I had, I would have put it out anyway, because it's an update in the case.
We also know at least one person in his life sent him £600. That's £1,300 just off 2 people who wrote his ad.
I heard about this until Maria said earlier.
Yeah, there was 3 or 4 other females in his live last Thursday that also sent him payments. He had a green screen up on his live of his bank details. So there's one there who sent him, look.
But I knew that he had said that he was like, you know, if he wanted to go out, obviously he would need help. And I was under the understanding that was people were going to help him because the family weren't, but then they offered. So that's what I thought, but I didn't think anyone had actually sent any money over. Honestly.
But well, Millie, they have.
I think I need to, I don't even know how to approach it with Debbie. Like, I need to ask her who she thought the group was.
I think maybe go to Rachel, because then Rachel controls everything anyway, and then obviously you don't need to go direct with Debbie, so maybe just try and message her on the Facebook page.
Yeah, because I don't like this. This isn't like me and my friends would never have accepted any money, and haven't seen any money or anything. And this is it's upsetting because, like, I'm getting abused now, and it's not fair because we've just, you know, we haven't got any money or not even a bottle of water or thank you, like nothing. You know, I mean, that message now, she's saying thank you to us, but for me, it's kind of a bit late after this. And I want to know where the them came from. Can you see where I'm coming from?
Millie, I don't think you're understanding. Cat was made out, like he did to me, that he had a search team going out looking for Jay. He's kept full control of any contact between you and Debbie. He's the only one contacting her. He's the only one telling her X, Y, and Z. Yeah, not you. And I think, unfortunately, you're just another pawn in this game. And that's what I think it is. You know.
I completely understand what you're saying.
And I honestly feel that, you know, you've been caught up unaware in his mistruths and his promises and his claims that he sent 15 people out. That's what he told me, 15 people he'd sent out for a search and rescue when, you know, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. He's also made claims that, you know, Jay's phone was found and he was speaking on behalf of the family. Well, who would ask this person to speak for the family? And these are the things that I started to question. And when I started to question it, he got incredibly defensive. And, you know, for the next few days, instead of talking about Jay or searching for Jay, he spoke about me. So with all due respect, I think you need to look at the wider picture and understand that when Debbie put out the statement on the GoFundMe, she was not wrong. She was correct in what she said. She said she had helped with Callum and his team's costs. And because that's what she probably believed was the case. It reconfirms it in this statement where she refers to them as a group. So I honestly believe that this is Cal telling her that this is for the search group. The group needs help, you know, And you've not been privy to that. And the reason for that is because he knows if he was, you'd be disgusted like everyone else. He's come out in the public domain and nobody's happy with it.
And the fact he's not even told you speaks volumes.
Well, I completely hear what you're saying, and I do understand what you're saying. I just want clarification as to what exactly was said to Debbie, so that I know, so that I can understand where she's coming from with it. Does that make sense?
The best approach is to contact Rach via Facebook and say, hi, I am part of the search group that was looking for Jay. This is what my concerns are, and open up a conversation that way.
Yeah. I mean, I've been quite open, like yesterday and today. Obviously, I've been very angry with the family for putting that statement out. Obviously, not seeing it from this point of view.
Yeah.
And I was obviously angry at the family and felt very like they had been misleading the public and misleading funds. And I was like concerned that it's like they're saying it's for me and my
I honestly believe Debbie really sent that money thinking it was for a search group.
Well, that's why I need to
more sense
from the family as to what they thought that money was going to, so that I can get like proper. I hear what you guys are saying, and it's not like I'm not listening. I am completely open and listening. I just want some clarification from. I will go through Rachel and ask her where that them came from, where they thought that the them comes from, so that I then know if it's been said that the group needs out, then I know that where that's come from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I need to go to them, and I will, if it turns out that they weren't deliberately misleading and that they've been misled, I will personally publicly apologise to them for being so upset yesterday and today at them for feeling like I had been lied about,
They've sent that money, and then the person they've sent that money to has gone on a TikTok live yesterday and today slating them from the accommodation that they've paid for. You can't write this shit. You can't,
I'm privy to, I slated them on that live because I was angry, because I thought it had come from them and they had misled everyone. I've done that. No. So I now feel bad if that's the case,
Like I said to you on the phone earlier, Millie, this is a case of I told you so at the moment. I said to you to be careful because I knew what he was about.
Yeah, but I know, and I appreciated that, but I also wanted to stay impartial, and I take people at face value until someone does something to me, and then I'll judge them on that, and until then I'll try and stay impartial in it. But if someone does something to me, then I get mardy.
Can I just say, this family is going through the most possible destroying thing already.
Yeah.
The biggest snake, Millie, is Cal. You two have been sat on a live today and absolutely slated this mother that's grieving for her son when the biggest snake you've spent your days with. This isn't the mother's fault. This isn't the family's fault. This is Cal's fault.
But I can only go on what I knew yesterday and today, which was she put a statement which was false information on, and I got abuse from it.
But you don't know what Cal has told her privately.
And that's why
you are not with him constantly, so you don't know what he said to her. Exactly. She's obviously got it into her head that you're all there together and she's helping all of yous. That is not her fault, that is Cal's fault, and you need to take that up with Cal.
And I will. I'll address everything when I have established with the family. And like you say, the reason I've been doing all of these searches is because of Debbie being devastated and losing and not having her son and trying to find her son. That's the whole reason I've been doing this. This is why I've been trying to stay out of the drama of all of this and trying to remain impartial, because my focus was finding her son and supporting the family in finding her son for the devastated mother, which is Debbie. To then find that she'd put a statement which was false about me, I felt like it was a kick in the teeth to me. Do you see what I mean? And I didn't mean to be angry at a grieving mother. but for putting up false statements like that, but that upsets me.
You've been used by Cal to sell his narrative and his story.
And I will get to the bottom of it. I'll get to the
You had no idea. Hold on. You had no idea he'd taken money. You had no idea that he was using you, you know, in a way to make him look better or to back him up. You had no idea. This is not your fault, but ultimately you do know now. You do know now, and
address it. You know, as soon as I know now certain things, and I will address it with the family, and you know, I will take action from there on. You know, I'm not. I've tried to still remain impartial, but I'm not naive enough to just take one, like a word. I want to speak to the family, and I will personally I will apologise for anything I've said out of upset that my name was put falsely in a statement about money.
Do you not think Cal's got an absolute audacity, though, right? Let's be honest and look at it from the straight point of view what's actually happening here. He has got an absolute audacity to be sitting there bad-mouthing that family, that mother who's gone through the worst time in her life, as Laura said, slating her on his live, trying to, whatever the word is, expose her, saying what the worst things he can about a mother, knowing he's been sent 740 quid from her bank to his bank. That is an absolute cheek. It's an absolute audacity. And I think you need to be very careful with him, Millie, because I swear to God you're going to be wrapped in some mess. Like, we have warned you, and I think the more stuff is just coming out, the worse it's getting. Day in, day out, hour in, hour out, more stuff's coming out. Cal's now jumped in airport where he's supposed to be there for another week or something. Jumped in airport and is on a flight on his way home. And had a cheek to turn it around and say, well, they didn't pay for my flight home, did they?
Can I just add, Millie, I don't know if you know, I mean, his lies are just, the list is long. I mean, he's lied about his name, he lies about his job, he lies about where he's living. So that gave us sort of, like, it just, you look at all that and then you don't, I think everybody on here sees you as you are just one of the world's nice people. And
can I get some mods in the chat, please?
You obviously have fallen for the charming young man that he is, that everybody saw to start with, and haven't had anything bad done to you by him until now with the money. But I personally could see it coming because, say, he's lied about so many things along the way. I mean, I asked him a question about his job and he blocked me straight away. And I literally genuinely was asking him a question about his job, which he doesn't have. I will just point out. So,
what?
He says he's a forensic nurse. I asked him, do you work in a prison or a custody suite? Because I have a friend that's a forensic nurse and works in a custody suite. He blocked me because I asked that question. It's because he is not a forensic nurse. He's not on any nurse registry. No.
And that's under his real name, because we are aware that the name he uses isn't his real name.
I knew that, but I thought it was for obviously security purposes, like safety. I knew that.
Yeah, because he's a liar and he's got to protect himself from all the lies he makes up about things. That's the problem.
He isn't friends with Lawrence, guys. He used Lawrence to get the view.
Yeah, and I don't know, he said he had to go home to turn off his hot tub. I'm from South London. I've not seen many hot tubs in council flats, so I'm not sure about that. He may have a
council flat.
He may have a hot tub, but he definitely lives in a council flat because he did a council flat exchange in February.
Yeah, he's all over Facebook asking for a council exchange.
Can we keep in mind as well that he actually set his own flat on fire to get attention off of his ex-partner? Just saying.
What?
Yeah. for some reason, I mean, I feel sorry for him actually. In fact, as being a 51-year-old woman, I look at him and he's the same age. My daughter's 21. There's something wrong with him. He's seeking attention. He's seeking thrill. He's seeking tracing trauma, and like to go up to Nicola Bullies, up to Leicester. I mean, he's a young lad that is seeking something, and he's obviously got himself wrapped up in this bigger than he can handle, and that's why he's now scarpered. I don't know what reason he gave you for leaving, but I don't know.
The reason I got rid of him is obviously
Can we get Kellyanne in? She's saying that she knows Cal.
The original Bella, Cal wasn't thinking of Lyrical's mental health when he trolled her for a week.
The Observer, providing you with the latest TikTok drama from across the UK.